My name is Tom Parris. I'm from the Dallas, Texas area, a suburb of Dallas. 2 years now.
2 years?
Uh-huh.
How'd you find them?
Through the internet, I guess. We were talking downstairs a little while ago about how people spend anywhere from $10,000 to $60,000 on other real estate teachers, and we were all dissatisfied with them. You spend the money, you go to the 4-day boot camp, and then when you try to get help afterwards, nobody's there to answer your questions. Or it's a 19-year-old kid who's on a call bank answering them. And so I found Joe. I'd done some lease options prior to meeting him, but I just liked the way he presented it and the materials that he had, and so then made the choice to join the mentoring program, and it's been very, very good since then. Very quickly. I got the first one. Again, I'd had a little bit of experience, but I took his copy and took the way he presents the rent to own. That's what we started with, was the 4-rent program, and probably had the first deal within a week to 10 days. And just ran an ad on Craigslist to find the buyers. They said yes. It was a mother and daughter that owned the home, and so then once I got the contract, the lease option agreement memo signed, then I started advertising in Craigslist, and very quickly found some people that wanted to do it, and met her and her parents. It was for the girl to live in, and met her and her parents at the Jack in the Box. We signed the contracts, and she moved in a couple of days later. That was only $2,000, I think, for that one. She was supposed to pay me later, but she didn't fulfill the contract, so those things happen. I never got the $1,000 additional. Oh, that's about $1,000 an hour is what we put in on that one there. Pretty good. I'm still working full-time for the time being, so I'm a big fan of automation, and Joe has what he calls the push-button method. Interesting story here is that yesterday during this buying event, we broke up and we went and made calls to people in our hometowns. I found this gentleman. I can't remember where I found him. He wasn't in the classifieds, but called him, sent him over to the website to see the seller's website, and he read about what we did. We talked on the phone while he's looking at the website. He said, "Oh, well, what do we do next?" I said, "Well, you can fill out this lease option agreement memo online," which he did. I said, "Well, I'm actually in Indiana now. I'm not going to be home for the next couple of days." I said, "Do you have any photographs of the property?" He said, "Yes, we do." He said, "I got to take some new ones anyway since I've remodeled the house." He went and took the photographs yesterday afternoon, sent them to me last night. I went on to Joe's website where people can see the houses that we have, sent out an email blast to our 700 prospects. And at 6:15 this morning, one of the prospects emailed me and said, "When can I see the house today?" So when I go back downstairs, we're trying to arrange for the owner to show the house to the prospect. That could be, yeah. Just all through the automated, we have the websites and the response websites as well. So with the buyers list that we have, sometimes our lease option homes, the ones we find lease option tenants for other owners, houses that we do not own, sometimes it takes 1 or 2 days, but more often like 1 or 2 weeks. So we've got a pretty good group, and we keep adding more people to each house, after each house we get. Probably 10 hours a week, probably right now.
How many deals do you think you're putting together?
I didn't know I was going to do this interview, but I would think we've probably gotten about 40 contracts in the 2 years, and probably some of them we bought ourselves. About probably about 20 to 25 we've actually converted into money, and probably a third of those we've kept, and the other 2/3 are for other owners. Well, Texas has some very unusual lease option laws that they passed 5 years ago now. So that's one thing we're going to start doing is more land contracts, since that does comply with their regulations.
Right.
So we'll do it that way. No, but I've learned a lot of things this weekend, so I don't know how much longer I'll be working. I think it'll supplement my income from what I learned this weekend. Well, a lot of the things that the other real estate teachers are teaching now are just not working. Your money's hard to come by, and rehab money or hard money is very hard to come by. And with Joe's program, you don't need that. You don't need your credit. You don't need any money to put down. Maybe $10 earnest money is all I usually put down. And so again, just follow his plans. He's got it well thought out. When you call him, as opposed to some of the other bigger teachers, he answers or he'll return the phone call. We do a lot of more emails than telephone calls, but he'll have the answer there, or he'll say, "Go, it's already in our material. Go right there," and that'll explain it to you. 1, 2, 3. So, I'm a big fan now, and I don't have to go to any of those big expensive seminars anymore. But he gives you so many resources for he doesn't charge for after you finish the mentoring program. People can't get money, they can't get the financing to do what they want to do, but it didn't affect us hardly at all last year.